Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you an OP Bolt of Gransax build guide in Elden Ring. So this can do an insane amount of damage, as you're going to see here. We're able of doing upwards of 2600 damage there, so this is incredible. It hits like a tank and it hits from range, so I'll be going over the full build guide, and we can even use a shield with this and do shield poke. So at level 150 of this, we got 50 vigor, 30 mind. You can go higher with your mind to be able to cast it more, because it does use 18 FP with the Carrion Filigree Crest, 24 normally. 30 endurance allows us to medium roll with both the Dragon Communion Seal, Brass Shield, Bolt of Gransax, and enough armor to have 56 poise and a medium roll, so that is the endurance to shoot for. 20 strength is required to equip this, but you can go lower. You can go with like a 15 and two-handed if you really want to, but 64 dexterity. And then I also went with 15 faith, so this does give us a bit of a boost. So 10 intelligence, 10 arcane, 15 faith, and you can go with really whatever items you want for equipment here. I just went with the Grey Bird armor because it gives it increase to jump attacks. But typically we're going to want to use the Carrion Filigree Crest, Shard of Alexander to boost the damage of the skill, and the Godfrey icon also charges up the damage of this, because you can actually charge it, and the charge time doesn't take a whole lot of time. I'll show you the difference that this makes. So normally if we just press L2, it would do 1600 damage. It comes out pretty quickly, but if you charge it, it doesn't take that much longer, and it does 2600. So an extra 1000 damage with the Godfrey icon makes it worthwhile. You can swap the Carrion Filigree Crest out for something different if you wanted to, more jump attacks with the Claw Talisman, or more charge attacks with the Axe Talisman there, or even going with a shield medallion, because we can use a shield with this. So there are a few different ways you can go about doing this, but the biggest thing we want to be focusing on is our range damage, because it hits hard. It also deals extra damage to dragon type enemies, but as you can see, we can go right through enemies there. I didn't even target that enemy and he was in the way. So it's great for just quickly hitting down enemies there, or if you want to charge and deal a ton of damage, you can get enemies hit really quickly with this. It also does a good amount of posture damage too, so that's another nice thing about it. But you're going to want to increase your mind as you level up, because it does burn through your mind pretty quickly. So about 40 mind or 42 mind would be a nice number to shoot for after leveling to 150. So that just gives you a bit more chances to deal damage with the Bolt of Gransax throw there. It's incredible. The amount of damage that it does is just nuts, and it deals extra damage to dragon type enemies, making this a very fun weapon to use. And there's nothing better than just seeing the enemy go flying after you throw this spear at them, because it launches them. So this weapon is mostly about using that skill there, because it just does a ton of damage from range. But you can also get up close, and with a shield, it's pretty good. I'm using just the Brass Shield there, as it does require 16 strength to equip, and it has some decent negation. It negates 100% of physical damage, so if you get in close, you can just block and poke and poke and poke, and it does pretty good damage. So that's the nice thing about this, is you can stay protected while you attack, and that is very effective, because I guess that was without any buff, so I'll buff myself up there. You can also go to 25 faith as you increase your levels to be able to get Golden Vow. That's something that's very useful. But you just get up in their face and tank the hits like that, and then return with your own. Now, one thing with when you have your shield up is you want to make sure your endurance doesn't fall below half, because otherwise you're going to get your posture broken, or you're going to get hit out of it pretty quickly there. So you can also go with the turtle talismans. There's a two-headed turtle talisman in the DLC that'll give you increased buff to your ability to regenerate stamina, which is important with this. But it's better to stay at a distance and just use this big effective throw, because it does a ton of damage. And you got to be mindful of when the enemy's coming at you, because sometimes it's not as good to just hold the charge in. It's better to just get this off quickly and take the enemy out that way. So you can hold it for different amounts of time depending on the enemy's attack. So if you see someone coming at you, you can let go of it quicker and get it off a little bit faster. But the Bolt of Gransax is an incredible weapon. It does a ton of damage. It breaks posture like no other, and it just overall hits like a tank. So whether you're up close or far away, this legendary weapon is going to have you taking down enemies really quickly. It gives a plus 20% damage to dragons and plus 10% to ancient dragons, so a very great weapon. So yeah, there is the Bolt of Gransax build in Elden Ring. If you found this video useful, please hit that subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.